Are you looking for personal growth, personal development, and self improvement? Then keep watching. Are you trying to create a clear vision, plan for your future, and shift your mindset to focus on learning new skills? Then this is for you. Would you like to enjoy reading a free ebook, getting free content, and having access to free training to explode your knowledge and build new habits? Then do not miss out and subscribe now. Are you looking for some motivation, inspiration, and new opportunities? Then be our guest. We are a UK-based business in London. However, our team members are from many different cultures. Think about increasing your productivity, make your way for success and real freedom by joining Alicia community now. Sit back, relax, enjoy watching the rest of the video that my team member Chris here has prepared for you. And today, I am going to speak about the 14 principles you must master to become successful by the creative writer Anthony Moore. In the words of Jim Rohn, success is neither magical nor mysterious. Success is the natural consequence of consistently applying the basic fundamentals. Success isn't complicated, but like financially illiterate individuals can't understand how to become wealthy, or health illiterate individuals can't understand how to lose weight. Success can look impossible to achieve, but success, true lasting success, is within your grasp. It is possible. It is available to every person at this moment. Right now you can make a decision to become a student of success. You can start on a journey that will take you to the future where everything you want is possible. The principles to get there aren't easy, but they are simple. If you want to achieve true lasting success in your life, the kind of success that will be the foundation for your life's legacy, you need to master these 14 principles first. Number 1. Most people will never be successful. In the words of Jim Rohn again, successful people do what unsuccessful people are not willing to do. Don't wish it were easier, wish you were better. Sadly, although anyone can choose to become successful, most people never will. This is because when it comes down to the final word, most people will choose comfort over growth. Ultimately, they see the price for true success and say no thanks. This is one of the most important characteristics of the mediocre majority. They are unwilling to trade comfort and stability for the pain of wild growth. Success costs you. To reach higher function, you must be willing to become a child again, to learn and grow in new avenues. You must constantly be willing to become a small fish in a big pond again. Most people simply aren't willing. The simple truth is, everyone could become healthy, happy and fulfilled starting right now as you're reading this. It is a choice that is available at all times, yet most people never take it. In the words of Warren Buffett, that's how knowledge works. It builds up like compound interest. All of you can do it, but I can guarantee not many of you will do it. The choice to become 100% financially free is dependent on you. The choice to have extremely rewarding and intimate relationship with your friends and family is available now. The choice to become fit, active and healthy is available now. The choice to experience intense and complete emotional healing is available now, but most people won't take it. Each of these avenues has a high cost. They require you to change your life, to shed old habits and adopt new ones, to sever ties with toxic individuals, to admit, I don't know. Benjamin Hardy put it this way, anything is possible if you are willing to pay the price. Many people make these decisions every day and change the trajectory of their lives and their families' lives forever. But many more people never make this choice. They continue to live in ordinary, average lives just like everyone else around them. And in the words of Seth Godin, is there a difference between average and mediocre? Not so much. Number 2. Evolving is painful. That's why most people don't do it. In the words of Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, arrogant or critical people are often people with low self-esteem who are afraid of taking risks. That's because if you learn something new, then you're required to make mistakes in order to fully understand what you have learned. Evolving is painful. Becoming a better version of yourself requires time, energy, humility, and study. Evolving means constantly becoming a child again. You must become a young, teachable student again over and over. You must constantly be admitting, I don't know. There is so much you don't know that will be revealed to you over the course of your studies and self-discovery. And the most helpful way to grease the wheels of this journey is to remain humble and open to correction and teaching. The worst thing you can do is insist you already know everything. Michelin star Chef Gordon Ramsay had a show called Kitchen Nightmares, where he would audit a struggling restaurant's food processes. There was a particular episode where a failing restaurant was led by a stubborn, arrogant chef who refused to change his menu or learn new tricks. Ramsay came in and began cooking marvelous new dishes for the restaurant. He prepared a particular sea bass dish for the owners, which they loved. However, the chef refused to try the dish. I already know what the sea bass tastes like, he argued dismissively. I've been cooking for 38 years. Instead of learning a free valuable lesson from a world-class expert, this man chose pride over growth. This is how most people react to criticism, defensive and immaturity. Instead of humbly admitting they don't know everything and gratefully accepting wisdom and teaching from expert, they chose pride and stagnation over humility and massive growth. Evolving is painful. Most people simply choose not to do it. But once you decide to become someone who is open to correction and teaching, you become an unstoppable force. If you shift your mindset into being an open, thirsty mind that is hungry for knowledge, you will become more capable than 90% of the population to achieve massive success. In the words of Leonardo DiCaprio, every next level of your life will demand a different you. What got you here won't get you there. Mastering success means mastering the art of constantly becoming a better version of yourself. This is done through slow, deliberate choices and sped up exponentially through being humble enough to accept correction and teaching. Number 3. The obstacle is the way. In the words of Ryan Holiday, the obstacle is the way. Within every obstacle is an opportunity to improve our condition. The ancient Stoic philosophers like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus all ascribed to learning how to turn challenge into triumph. It was Aurelius, Emperor of Rome, who first penned the thought that obstacle is the way. Aurelius had to deal with problems you and I don't typically face: assassination attempts, betrayals by his top advisors, and the incessant efforts of his enemies to overthrow Rome. What he learned through all of this was not to run from problems. In fact, they are exactly where you should go. It is through solving difficult problems and overcoming frustration and fear that allows you to develop patience, poise, and peace in the most dire of circumstances. The reason so many NFL teams, CEOs, and personal development coaches have been studying the philosophy of Stoicism in recent years is because solving these obstacles directly is exactly how to become stronger, faster, smarter, and more poised person. Becoming successful often means an entire transformation in many different parts of your life. The relationships, finances, health, and personal habits of successful people often look radically different to the average person. This change is difficult. Evolving is painful, so most people don't do it. But for those who truly desire to become successful, the obstacle, fear of rejection, frustration, setbacks, anger, and impatience, this is exactly where you need to focus your efforts. Number 4. Growth and comfort cannot coexist. You can either step forward into growth or backwards into security. The words of Abraham Maslow. Growth means learning. It means working, doing, creating, resisting, and failing. Comfort means safety. It means stability, protection, pleasure, and feeling good. Growth cannot happen as long as you choose comfort over learning. Growth and evolution are incubated in pain and discomfort. Most people choose comfort over pain, and so remain in average, mediocre lives. If you want to succeed and experience true lasting success, you need to know that all necessary growth and evolution you must experience cannot happen while you're comfortable. There is so much you need to know and need to learn. The path of success is paved with obstacles that can only be overcome by reading books, gaining mentors, failing and trying again, and learning from your mistakes. These cannot happen if you continue to mindlessly numb yourselves through TV, drugs, sleeping longer than you should, or cling to what is easy instead of what is challenging. Growth and comfort cannot coexist. If you want to become a new, better, healthier, richer, stronger, smarter person, it cannot be achieved while you choose comfort over growth. Number 5. Becoming extraordinary means giving up a normal life. In the words of Srinivas Rao, if you want to live an exceptional and extraordinary life, you have to give up many of the things that are part of a normal one. If you want to experience true success and become extraordinary, it means you must give up many parts of a normal life. Nowadays, normal means a lot of things. Normal means buying things you don't need to impress people you don't like with money you don't have. Normal means binge eating an entire pizza while binge watching an entire season of a TV show. Normal means sleeping in as late as you can. It means doing what others tell you to do. It means following conventional advice, never leaving the safety of the herd. Normal is the way things always have been. But extraordinary is something quite different. If you want to live an extraordinary life, that means you have to start acting very different from how everyone else is. One of the most basic tenets of becoming extraordinary is simple: having the courage to go against the tide. In the words of Benjamin P. Hardy, ordinary people seek entertainment, extraordinary people seek education and learning. Extraordinary means buying books, online courses and conference membership instead of buying alcohol, doodads and luxurious you don't even need. Extraordinary means saying no to merely good opportunities and waiting for the truly great ones. Extraordinary means investing your money in assets, not liabilities. The wealthy don't become wealthy by sitting on their hands. They spend enormous amounts of time becoming extremely financially literate and making their money work for them. Extraordinary means becoming fit and healthy so your body and mind are able to function at extremely high levels so you can produce work that can truly change the world. Extraordinary means devoting the majority of your time learning and investing in personal development. Most people don't prioritize this characteristic of an extraordinary lifestyle. Being extraordinary means doing things others won't. In the words of Tim Grover, personal trainer of Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant, would you be as successful if you followed all the rules and always behaved and never took a chance? No. You'd just be like everyone else, scared about failing and worried about being liked. Number 6. Willpower doesn't work. Most people approach goals and personal improvement the hard way. Rather than changing their environment, they strive to overcome their current environment. These are the words of Benjamin P. Hardy. Most people are terrible at achieving goals. As much as 92% of people give up their New Year's resolution just a few weeks into January. When asked, most overweight and broke people declare they would like to become fit and financially successful, but they continue in their unhealthy habits and foolish financial decisions. Most people are terrible at achieving goals because they rely on willpower to do so. A simple secret for success is that willpower doesn't work. Commitment does. According to the latest psychological research, your willpower is like a muscle. The more you use it, the more tired it gets. Essentially, willpower is a finite resource that becomes depleted with use. As a result, your willpower is nearly gone by the end of your long, strenuous days. Suddenly, you don't even stand a chance resisting the junk food and watching TV. Commitment is something entirely different. Commitment goes above and beyond your energy, stamina, or how you feel, even after extremely strenuous days. If you truly committed to something in your mind, it is as though you already succeeded. All doubt and disbelief are gone. In the words of Benjamin P. Hardy again, when you commit into an enormous goal that far exceeds your current capability, willpower won't solve your problem. Rather, you'll need a new environment that organically generates your goals. A context that forces you to become more than you currently are. Once you design the right condition, your desired behavior naturally follows. As long as you rely on willpower alone to accomplish your goals, you will never succeed on truly enormous levels. It is only through an unwavering commitment that a new lifestyle that truly allows you to accomplish extraordinary things. Number 7. Consistency beats intensity. In the words of Bruce Lee, long-term consistency beats short-term intensity. In 1974, boxer Muhammad Ali was scheduled to fight George Foreman. Foreman was considered by many observers to be the favorite to win this fight due to his superior punching power. He was stronger and more experienced than Ali. Rather than trying to match Foreman at his own game, Ali adopted a different tactic, which became famous in their Rumble in the Jungle fight. It was called the rope-a-dope. During the fight, Ali put himself in a protected stance, put his back against the rope of the ring, and let Foreman punch him relentlessly. At the time, some observers thought that Ali was being horribly beaten and worried that they might see him get killed in the ring. But the ropes on Ali's back allowed him to absorb the punches without taking a lot of damage. While Foreman exhausted himself fruitlessly attacking Ali, Ali was waiting for the moment to strike. At the end of the 8th round, Ali knocked out Foreman and won. Often the stronger and faster opponents get beaten by weaker, slower adversaries. How? It's because in the long run, it's not about intensity, it's about consistency. This is the essence of Angela Duckworth's groundbreaking book, Grit, the Power of Passion and Perseverance. In short, it is not the individual with the greatest starting position or motivation that usually wins. It's the person who has the most grit, the person who can last the longest. The individual who is able to make stronger commitment to maintaining their cause despite whatever happens, this is the person who will reach their goal. Will Smith, critically acclaimed actor and producer, was once asked about his motivation and how he got to become successful. The only thing that I see that is distinctly different about me is I'm not afraid to die on a treadmill, he explained. I will not be outworked, period. You might have more talent than me, you might be smarter than me, you might be sexier than me, you might be all of those things, you got on me. But if we get on a treadmill together, there is two things. You're getting off first, or I'm going to die. Success is all about consistency. It's not about never falling down, it's about getting up every time you fall down. You will fall, and when you fall, the winner always gets up and the loser stays down. The words of Arnold Schwarzenegger. Most people rely on short, intense bursts of inspiration and motivation in their attempts to be successful. Maybe they read an inspiring weight loss story or watch Gladiator. After this inspiration, they act like crazy people. They work tirelessly day and night. They go to the gym 6 days in a row for 2 weeks. They write 5,000 words for their book. They throw out every piece of junk food they have in their house. But what usually happens to these people, the same fate that befalls nearly 92% of individuals who make New Year's resolution, they give up a couple of weeks later. Enthusiasm is common. Endurance is rare. The words of ancient Japanese proverb, fallen 7, rise 8. Number 8. Success means choosing education over entertainment. In the words of Hal Elrod, your level of success will rarely exceed your level of personal development, because success is something you attract by the person you become. Choosing to learn instead of being entertained is a trademark characteristic of successful people. Mastering success means learning to love being a small fish in a big pond. Most people don't want to admit these 3 little words, I don't know. Instead of choosing to learn, they reject the opportunity and instead go back to entertaining themselves. By achieving your ultimate life requires a tremendous deal of learning. It requires an intense dedication to gaining knowledge, learning important lessons, and receiving teachings to add to your wisdom, experience, and education. Some of the greatest and most successful minds of our time are also voracious readers. They make time for their education. Warren Buffett, worth $74.4 billion, advocates to read hundreds of pages a day. Mark Cuban, worth $3.4 billion, dedicates 3 hours a day to reading. Bill Gates, worth 90.2 billion, reads 50 books a year, nearly a book a week. Elon Musk, worth 15.2 billion, is an avid reader that claims he learns to build rockets by reading books. The most successful people of the world don't spend their precious and most potent time by binge watching TV shows, playing excessive video games, or partying into drunken oblivion. The extraordinary people of the world dedicate massive amounts of time and money into investing in themselves. This is done through reading books and blogs, attending conferences, seminars, webinars, training and participating in mastermind groups, collaborating with others, and working with several mentors. Successful people choose education over entertainment. Odds are your life's greatest work requires you to choose the wide gap between what you know and what you don't. In the words of Benjamin B. Foley, the goal of life is not to relax on the beach sipping mojitos all day. The purpose is to find something you love that adds value to the world. If you want to find a purpose and actually start creating and doing work that impacts the lives of thousands, you need to get educated. If you want to be extraordinary and successful, choose education and learning over entertainment. Number 9. Everyone's first draft sucks. In the words of Ernest Hemingway, the first draft of anything is shit. I have a friend who is writing a novel. It is his first novel, and he works very hard on it. In fact, he's been working on it for years. Sometimes I check in with him to see how it's going. It's usually going alright. Here's the thing he doesn't understand. His first book probably won't be that good, and that's okay. His second and third book will probably be better, but he will never know if he never publishes the first one. I've written 2 ebooks so far. The first one sold exactly 0 copies. The second one sold about 20 copies. I imagine my next one will sell a little more. Same goes for the one after that. My first 2 ebooks weren't that great. I put a lot of work into them. A lot. But I also clicked publish. Most people never do that. They spend years building the intricate, almost perfect creation that never quite done. They don't realize they're only prolonging their own success. Most people want to be widely successful on the first try, but this almost never happens. Everyone's first draft isn't that good. That's why you haven't learned what great is yet. We are not able to produce a great work without first producing a lot of crap. In the words of renowned radio host Ira Glass, all of us who do creative work we get into because we have good taste, but there is this gap. For the first couple years you make stuff, it's just not that good. It's trying to be good. It has potential, but it is not. A lot of people get past this phase. They quit. And if you are just starting out, you are still in this phase. You gotta know it is normal, and the most important thing you could do is do a lot of work. It is not only by going through a volume of work that you will close the gap and your work will be as good as your ambitions. My first friend would do far better for himself if he simply published his book, accepted some criticism, and the fact that he didn't immediately make the New York best time seller and start on his second book. It will probably do better than his first book. Same goes for the third and fourth book. Success isn't about creating, it is about consistently practicing quality actions every day over and over. Unsexy boring work. Michael Jordan didn't become great while on the court of his widely publicized games, and Michael Phelps didn't become the most decorated Olympian of all time solely through his widely publicized Olympic appearances. These individuals become great alone, in practice every day for 4 years. Not 4 years, forever. Over and over again. In the words of John Fraser, champions aren't made in the ring, they are merely recognized there. Everyone's first draft sucks. Get over it, publish it and try again. Your second draft will be better. Number 10. How you do anything is how you do everything. I used to juggle being an entrepreneur on the side while working full time. I used to believe that even if I slacked off all day at work, scrapping by, just doing the minimum to not get fired, I could switch gears from the lazy, unmotivated worker as I was to be disciplined, creative entrepreneur when I got home. But that never worked. How you do one thing is how you do everything. If you spend all day being bored, lazy and irresponsible, you can't simplify, flip and switch and become a truly responsible person. Disciplined hard worker while at home, in your relationship, your finances or your health. Many people think they are compartmentalized. They're discipline and effort, working hard in some areas but not in others. But you can't. When one area of your life is suffering, all the other parts suffer. Conversely, when you develop one part of your life, all the other parts benefit too. Are laziness, irresponsibility and avoidance normal parts of your day? Even if they're in areas you don't deem worthy of your efforts, are they there? If they are there, they need to be changed. The whole cannot become healthy if there are still toxic areas that remain unaddressed. Like a broken ankle or dislocated shoulder, the entire body will suffer even if one part remains broken. Number 11. You can become anything if you're willing to pay the price. In the words of Anders Ericsson, how much you improve is up to you. In the words of Benjamin P. Hardy, you can learn, have or be anything if you're willing to pay the price. You can become a millionaire in a not long period of time. You could be an established expert on any topic. You could be a successful business owner. You could have deep spiritual understanding. You could do an Ironman triathlon. You could be an empathetic, caring and loving person. You could have beautiful, meaningful relationships with your romantic partner, business colleague, mentors and other people who inspire you. You could be the person you know within yourself you can be. You can live the life you know within yourself you are meant to live, but you have to pay the price. The price for being extraordinary is a high one. It means severing ties with toxic individuals. It often means waking up earlier, eating healthy and saying no to things you used to say yes to. The truth is, there are probably dozens of daily activities you do that don't serve you. They only serve to distract you, bring you down or keep you busy. Paying the price of success means changing these behaviors. The choice to become extraordinary is not unlike the addict who knows he has to quit to survive. Do you keep doing the same things, or are you willing to change everything to transform? For many people, the answer is no. They see the price tag for a truly successful life and suddenly they're hesitant and reluctant. But if they prospect of the words, becoming extraordinary and truly successful is worth it to you, then you need to start paying the price. When you're with your loved ones, do you look at your smartphone and pay the price? When you have 5 extra minutes, do you zone out or do you pay the price? When you have a choice between easy and comfortable path or difficult and challenging path, do you pay the price? When your alarm goes off in the morning, do you press snooze or do you pay the price? You can have anything you want, but this success requires a heavy price. Are you willing to pay? Number 12. Success is a lonely road. In the words of Tont Bryson, the more bold you are, the more rejection you experience. The thing about becoming truly successful is that most people never do it. The world is full of members of the mediocre majority. Most people will never be successful. They may try or they claim they want to, but in reality it never ever happens. This reality becomes all the more keen for the few individuals who actually choose to become truly successful and extraordinary. It's lonely. There's not a lot of company. Only those who have reached the top of their mountain know how few tracks are up there. If you want to truly be successful, you need to understand this road will probably be very lonely for a time. Even the most well-intentioned people around you, you may begin to disparage and discourage you from leaving the safety of the herd. Family, friends and loved ones all may not understand your choice to go on a new path. In some cases, they may even become resentful and hurtful. This is because since many people never reach their dreams, they don't want others to reach theirs. In order to prevent the reality that you achieved your goals while they did not, they strive to keep you in the herd or ostracize you when you leave. If you want to reach new heights and achieve success unlike anything you've ever experienced before, it will likely involve loneliness, rejection and ostracism. Number 13. If it's not a hell yes, it's a no. When my wife and I were still living in San Diego, I was extremely busy. I had written an ebook, started a podcast, gotten a craft beer certification, and I read 30 books, all while in full-time grad school and full-time work. When we moved to South Korea, our lives became extremely simple, and I began saying no to almost everything. Some of these opportunities included overtime at work, high-paying private tutoring, youth basketball coach, remote data administrator, and podcast founder. I said no to all of them. That's because I realized they were all good opportunities but not great ones. None of these opportunities made me think, hell yes. From now on, if any opportunity doesn't make you say hell yes, you must say no. Most people are stuck in obligations they don't even like simply because they didn't have the courage to say no. As a result, their days are spent doing things they don't like that suck precious time and energy that could be spent on building their legacy. You need to say no more. In the words of Warren Buffett, the difference between successful people and really successful people is that really successful people say no to almost everything. When you say yes to the kind of good opportunities, the ones that make you say things like sure, that could be fun, or alright, that sounds interesting, you forfeit your chance to say yes to amazing opportunities. Your life is like a legacy, and it requires your best work and a lot of time to do it. You can't create a legacy if you're always distracted with good, not great opportunities, even if you're making a few extra bucks. Number 14. Acting as if, become acting as is. Act as if you are already the healthiest person you can be. Do not wait until you feel better about yourself or until you believe you have what it takes. As if you are self-actualized and your beliefs will follow suit. Act while you fear rather than waiting until you feel unafraid. These are the words of David Richo. One of the most important factors about becoming successful is self-belief. In other words, your level of how successful you will be is generally accurate. This sentiment has been echoed throughout history. Said Henry Ford, whether you think you can be or you can't, you're right. In a letter to a struggling friend, Bruce Lee said, what you habitually think largely determines what you will ultimately become. Do you believe you can win? Can you envision yourself with your goals completed? Can you see yourself with everything you've ever wanted? If you can't, you almost certainly never. What you focus on expands. This is why most critical, judgmental, and negative people invariably have negative, toxic lives. If all of you focus on how much of a victim you are, you'll always be a victim. If all of you can see how unfair your circumstances are, you will be doomed to stay in this stagnation. Winners become winners by acting like one. Acting as if can be playful, where you toy with the balance of shedding off who you are and instead don the costume of who you want to be. It may sound silly, but this is a powerful exercise for your mind. Robert Kiyosaki, author of the acclaimed finance book Rich Dad Poor Dad, recounted a time when he had lost a large amount of money, leaving he and his wife broke. I'm a rich man, he could tell himself, and rich men don't do that. Even though he had literally lost all of his money, he still acted like the richest man. He still donned the costume of a wealthy, financially secure individual, and so that's what he became. If you're rich, you don't make bad investments or foolish financial decisions, so act like you're rich. If you're healthy, fit, and you don't eat garbage, if you're loving, caring husband, you love and serve your wife, that's just what you do. Even if you're not there yet, don the costume. Acting as if will eventually become acting as is. This is how become truly successful, especially if they or no one else around them has ever done so. They imagine themselves as that person, then they act accordingly. And in the words of Paulo Coelho, when we want something, all the universe conspires in helping you to achieve it. If you're broke, overweight, unhappy, or stuck, act as if you are not. Act as if you're a rich, fit, content individual with a purpose. You'll become the person, but you have to believe it. In the words of Bruce Lee, one will never get more than he thinks he can get. In conclusion, where you are is a result of who you are, but where you end up depends entirely on who you choose to be from this moment forward. The words of Hal Elrod. Mastering success isn't easy, but it's simple. Success isn't mysterious, it's not a magical puzzle that only select few have the ability to solve. It is available right now. But mastering success requires you to become a person that's open-minded and humble learner that you ever have been before. You must learn from the experts. You must admit you don't know. You must recognize reaching new heights requires an entirely different you. This is good news, where we are not meant to stagnate or remain in comfort for long, as anyone who has chosen comfort over growth for too long knows that very comfort soars and becomes a prison of fear, shame and isolation. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you liked it. Let me know if you want more like this in the comments down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Goodbye.